Hi folks, it's Steve here from Analytics in Action. What I want to do today is give you a demo on how to schedule a SQL Server Integration Services package using SQL Server Agent Service. Okay, so what I'll do today is I'll cover four things. So I'll talk about what is SQL Server Agent Service, why you'd want to use it. Then I'll go through a practical example which will consist of four steps: creating a new job, adding a package to the job, creating a schedule for when we want the integration services package to run, and then viewing the job history after it's run. And then also I'll talk about other resources that are available to learn integration services and analytics and business intelligence in general. Okay, so what is the SQL Server Agent Service and why would you want to use it? Well, it's a service within SQL Server, and like the other services such as reporting services, analysis services, integration services, it's its own little program which performs a task, and that sits around the outside of the core SQL Server database. So the core function of the SQL Server agent is to execute scheduled administrative jobs, and the basic process is that each job contains one or more steps. Each step contains its own task, and the task might be, for example, backing up a database, and it can either it can run a job on a schedule or in response to a specific event, or even in demand on demand. So in terms of the actual practical uses, probably two core uses: backing up databases and also running integration services packages. So you might want to run it on schedule, for example, when there's low demand on the server, or when there is plenty of time for that package to run. So if a package, because it's going to take several hours to run, you may want it to be ready by the time you come into work, so you may set it off running say at midnight. Okay, and now for the practical example. So the first step in the practical example is to create a new job. So to do that, you go into SQL Server and open up SQL Server Management Studio. Connect to the server. Just takes a second, and what you'll see on the left hand side is SQL Server Agent. So the first thing you need to do is verify that it's on, and you can just right click on the SQL Server Agent and you'll see Start, Stop, Restart. And since Start is grayed out, it is we know that it's on. Then the next thing you need to do is create a new job. So you open up the SQL Server Agent tree there, click on Jobs, right click, New Job. And what I'll do is I'll call this job generic SSIS execution. Okay, and ensure, just double check that this enabled down the bottom is ticked, and click OK. Okay, so the second step involves adding a package or step to the job. So we go back into SQL Server Management Studio and open up Jobs. So this is the job we've just created. Click down to the next page, which is Steps. Click New. Type in a name for the step, so it might be we'll just call this execute package, and then we have to say what type of step it'll be. So this is a SQL Server Integration Services package we want to execute, and then the package source. So what we're going to do is just going to select it from the file system, and then we have to navigate through to the package that we've created. So this is a package I've created earlier, and all it does is open up a text file and it shoots it off to from the from one location onto my desktop. So then we click OK. So that all looks good. What we can do is click into Advanced, and it says there's a couple key settings here. So on success, it says go on to the next step. That's just a default setting. And then on failure, quit the job, reporting a failure. So that's all good. So that's all we need to do for this step. Okay, so in this the next step in this practical example, we need to create a schedule to run the package. So we go back into SQL Server Management Studio, and then we click through to schedule. So we're just working down the pages in order. So we start off with the Journal tab, Journal page, then moved on to steps, now on to schedules. So all we need to do is go create a new schedule. So we're just going to, the schedule we'll do is we'll just make it a one-off run once, but you can do have it reoccurring. You've pretty much got ultimate flexibility, but let's, for this example, just say run once. Then we just have to say when it's going to run. The time now is 5:23, so let's run it at 5:25. Exactly. Click OK. OK. Okay, so what we'll do now is just get rid of that file. Is basically wait for the package to run to confirm that it actually has run, and then go back and look at the history. So there we go. This file has now appeared on the desktop, so the integration service package has successfully picked up the file from one location and shot it off to another. So we then go to actually view the history to confirm that the package is run from the log. Right-click generic right-click the job name, go view history, and you can see the history here. So it ran at 5:44 and 23 seconds, and the job succeeded. So that's the basically the job history, the job log. So that confirms that it ran fine. This is obviously a bit later than what I said it was going to run, because my laptop actually went flat, so I had to just reschedule it a few minutes later once I'd charged it up. So that's pretty much SQL Server Agent Service for you. Fairly simple. A lot of it's really just coming down to being aware of the functionality within SQL Server and knowing when to apply it. Okay, so that was scheduling integration services packages to run using SQL Server Agent Service. If you want to find out more about SQL Server integration services, analysis services, data mining, and business intelligence in general, come across to my blog, analyticsinAction.com, or subscribe to this YouTube channel.